Hey, looks like we's live right now. Good evening or night, everyone, depending what time zone you are watching this stream from. Welcome to Straight Talkin' Fedora Chic. If you are new here, please consider subscribing and please consider leaving a thumbs up. It's a free way to help your girl out. And we are a story time / commentary channel. We do reaction videos as well to whatever I feel strongly about. And as it turns out, more often than not, my commentary is not popular. But, I've always said on my channel, just because something is not popular doesn't mean that it is incorrect. Okay? And so, anyways, I'm not going to dwell too much on that. But yeah, I have been noticing even before my video from a couple of days ago, some weird things on YouTube. Some very strange things. Hey, Arts Love, good to see you. I have noticed some very weird things on YouTube. I remember when the lockdowns were starting to happen. Different countries, different states in the United States, provinces in Canada, etc., started the lockdowns. And here I was thinking, and some of the guys, the tech guys like Roberto Blake, for instance, had said this is the time for an opportunity to work from home. And he was talking about how the future is working from home and how a normal 9-to-5 job is no longer secure. And even on that last point, I can't argue with him on any of those points, I mean, with my ex-partner, he lost a job after 25 years of service. And this is way back in 2013, long before pandemic. Okay, simply because under the guise of restructuring, which I call bullshit. But yeah, that's when I realized, the 9-to-5 world is no longer considered a secure job. And it is scary to start a business from home, And for the longest time, one business I always wanted to have was designing T-shirt graphics, slogans, certain inspirational quotes, funny quotes, memes, some cartoon drawings, stuff like that, and I wanted to design T-shirt graphics. And now it is possible and it is easy to do with sites like Teespring. And I have been investigating this as of late. I know the idea, make more money when you already have this, make more money to be taxed on when you already have this horrendous tax bill like I've got, right? But yeah, but yeah, I would like a little more independence. I don't know how well my T-shirt designs would sign. I mean, there are thousands of millions out there now with print on demand, POD for short, print on demand, Teespring being the most popular. And I was researching, and I was concerned because it was an American company. Keep in mind, with the print on demand, with companies like Teespring, the beauty part of that is, and yeah, you do pay, they get a hefty part of their cut. There's no question. But if you were to calculate your own headaches of keeping inventory in your home, taking care of your own shipping, your own customer service, dealing with clients, who may have had their order not shipped properly, maybe it is better to pay for that peace of mind. To pay for that peace of mind, with that hefty cut. And when you think about it, you're shipping internationally, you got to deal with the customs brokers and such, right? And the company Teespring would do that. Now, most of my YouTube audience is from, yeah, it does sound like fun, doesn't it, Hearts Love? Now, there are other companies. I think another popular one is Redbubble, which I also have been looking into. Although it appears the creator's cut is even smaller than that of Teespring. No wonder most YouTubers, most content creators, they choose to use YouTube. And I've noticed this, even Canadians. There are a couple of Canadians, I mean, notably Vegan Gains And I think Miss Mojo, they do those top 10 sites, you know, with fast food and television and all that stuff. Miss Mojo, they're a Canadian site, and they use Teespring as well. But I was concerned, even though most of my audience is from the United States, and I think a good second place is the UK, according to my analytics. My t-shirt, you know, whatever t-shirt designing business I have, I mean, for a start, I think most who would purchase from me are in Canada and might not, especially during these days of delayed deliveries, delayed shipping because of the quarantine, right? So they may not be happy about the idea of having to pay extra customs fees, you know? So I was trying to look for an equivalent, a print on demand, something equivalent, similar, like a Canadian answer to Teespring. And I found one, but the ratings were so all over the place of this service. It's called Spreadshirt .ca. And it was so, I don't know, the ratings were all over the place. Let me know in the comments section if anybody's done any business with Spreadshirt .ca. They appear to have way more variety of garments and articles to print on and to design on excuse me, than Teespring would. But yeah, but because the ratings are all over the place, some had said there were problems with shipping. Others had said the wrong orders were delivered, like it was the wrong color, wrong size, or the wrong design, right? So it's something. And, you know, I mean, when the common thread, okay, of the negative reviews, there's a common thread, you kind of have to stand back a bit. So what am I going to do? I'll probably just end up going with Teespring for now to start with. If I end up finding a Canadian equivalent for Canadian customers so they can save on customs fees, I can always get to that later, right? I can always get to that later. I know. I'm talking about a t-shirt. I'm talking about a t-shirt graphics design business, you know, after the hate I got on my, not my last video, but the video before. But anyways, back to what I was saying earlier about Roberto Blake and, you know, the opportunities to make money from home. And there is, because I think, you know, once at least the worst of the pandemic is over, and that would include the passing of a second wave, third wave if need be, I think the new normal is we're going to be seeing more and more folks working from home. Yeah, it is what makes it hard. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I think, so what makes it, oh gosh, I'm having my word loss again, losing my words again. You'd be amazed at how often that is happening lately. Oh, good grief. Okay, where was I? Yeah, and I lose train of thought too. No, my short-term memory is really, really crap these days. Oh, yes. Yeah. But the new normal, the new economic normal, I think will be working from home. I mean, we started seeing that long before the quarantine, you know, more and more work from home. Take the company vidIQ, which is an app, like a plugin for YouTube creators, you know, it's an add to their analytics. They have their own channel. It's one guy in Australia plus two guys in the United States who run it. They said they have no headquarters. They have no brick and mortar head office. So they each run things out of their own home. Yeah, everything going online. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know, so they said, what's his name? I think his name is Craig, the Australian guy. The Australian guy who runs a vidIQ. Yeah, he said that they have no brick and mortar HQ. They each run things out of their home, and which is cool. Think about it. You know, I mean, you don't have to deal with rent, or mortgage on said building. You know, and it's a lot cheaper to have some IT guy wire you up at home, right? If let's say you're working the call center job, you know, the call center in like inside sales, customer service representative, right? I would say that can be done at home. And I think many companies are opting to have their call center employees actually not work at a call center, but they work at a home. I guess IT would set them up with the company intranet, the company phone lines, et cetera, and they do their work from home. And I think that's a good thing. I think that would be a good thing. If there was one critique, and I don't necessarily agree or disagree, I know I'm wishy-washy. I'm not taking a stand here. I'm pulling a boogie 2988 here. But no, that's not true. I got to take a stand here. There are many who argue the reason why kids are troubled today, or kids are more, they're not like the way they were in our generation, let's say, or generations preceding, is because the parents are too busy. These days, it takes a 2-income household. Cost of living has gone up and skyrocketed, but wages have remained stagnant, right? Wages have remained stagnant. So, it takes 2 incomes to work. There are more single parent households, single parents having to work 2 jobs. I'm not blaming them. Yes, they have to keep a roof over them and their family's head. They have to feed them and clothe them, so I'm not blaming them for that. But the fact is, I think that's a trouble with a lot of today's youth, is there's no parents at home. And I'm not saying it's the mother that should stay at home. I'm an equal opportunity chick. The father can stay home too. I'm all for stay-at-home dads. But, so I understand. But imagine if they can work at home, or at least one parent can work from home, right? Now, I know it's not always possible in every line of work. If you're a frontline healthcare worker, or you work in the food service industry, obviously that's not possible, and you do the best that you can. But if you were, dealing with sales, or I don't know, sales, customer service representative, you can do that from home. So you can raise your kids, from home, right? Yeah, call me old-fashioned, if you will, but it is what it is. But yeah, so anyways, what shocked me was, I thought people's YouTube channels, this would be an opportunity, to get yourself out there, build up those subs, build up those views. But you know what? And I'm not the only one this has happened to. I'm not the only channel this has happened to. Because I've talked to other people, other content creators on YouTube, and they all say the same thing. Their views have tanked. Their views have tanked. And they said their sub count, they're losing subscribers, or their sub count is not going up. And their views are tanking. And like I said, it's not just me. It's a lot of other content creators. Go figure, right? Go figure. But so, so I don't know. I realized the economy had never really closed in some jurisdictions. It's almost business as usual. And I say almost because they have to go to work anyway, same as always. But by the same token, they got to be extra careful, for obvious reasons. Can't say the disease on YouTube anymore. Another one of my pet peeves. Another one of my pet peeves. I know my views have tanked. My last video has been growing steadily in views, but it's also growing in hate. And now I learned the tarot review, the review I did of the Golden Girls tarot that I uploaded last night. I learned from you, Hearts Love. The video has ads on it. Like, it has the yellow dots, below on the timeline there on a YouTube video. And you see the little yellow dots where ad rolls are placed. How's that even possible? I'm not even monetized. I'm nowhere near arriving at the 1,000 subscribers. I believe you, but I see top creators with the top views I've seen. That's worrisome. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It is worrisome. But, anyways, back to what I was saying about the tarot card. I was reviewing my new Golden Girls tarot, and I was showing all the cards, and I gave basic explanations of what certain suits of the minor arcana and some of the cards of the major arcana, what they meant as well, and where some of the illustrations, how they would have inspired by episodes of the Golden Girls, right? And I didn't see there was no copyright claim on the video. There's absolutely no copyright claim, no copyright strike. My channel is not monetized. Why do I have ad rolls? So that's something I'm going to have to take up with YouTube. I'll have to watch it from another account just to make sure that this wasn't a weird glitch. But if there are ad rolls on that video, I'm going to have to write to YouTube. Okay, it's because I don't have a strike. I don't have a strike at all. But once again, it's always harder for the smaller creator to grow, right? Always harder for the smaller creator to grow. So anyways, so how have I been doing lately? Not great. I'll admit I'm not great. I'm tired a lot, sleeping a lot, and that's probably a good thing. Sorry for the dinging. It's the notifications on my phone. It's the notifications on my phone. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what that is. Anyways, back to what I was doing. Yeah. And what else is on my mind? What else is weighing heavily on my mind? I just caught a video, I am a fan of hers, okay? Call it my modern day desperately seeking Susan moment. For those who are not Gen Xers, there was a movie starring Madonna and Rosanna Arquette in the mid 80s, and it was called Desperately Seeking Susan. I don't think it was all that critically acclaimed. I don't think it had a high rating even, and I don't think the movie was all that great. But Rosanna Arquette played a bored housewife who I could easily relate to, and she had found a jacket which belonged to this girl, Susan, played by Madonna, and Susan was one who led this more wild child lifestyle, if you will. And, and Rosanna Arquette anyway, she had her jacket. She had her jacket by mistake, and she was going around wearing it, and there were people or old friends of Susan who mistook Rosanna Arquette's character for actually being Susan. So she got to sort of play her for a bit, live vicariously through Susan, if you will. So I'm having a desperately seeking Susan moment when it comes to Emilia Fart, sort of. She's a fellow Montrealer, and I was planning to do a review of her channel, but I'm not going to do it anymore. But I am planning to do a video about her soon, and it will probably be an upload because there'll be a lot of video clips, but she said she was going away. Her last video on the YouTube was put up on April 30th. A few days ago, she did do an interview on somebody else's channel. I forget the name of the channel, but she did a Zoom interview with a couple of people on another channel. But other than that, on her own channel, her last update was April 30th. It was a very short video of her dancing, wearing the trademark robe and the boa, and she's dancing around a park, a Montreal park. And she does a voiceover explaining why she's leaving, at least for a while. Now, is she going to come back to the platform? That remains to be seen. Oh, I hope she does, because I know her point of view. Like, after the interview, I watched of her a few nights ago. Like I said, damn, if I can remember the channel name, I can't. But it seems like her point of view has changed about YouTube fame. I love her too, and that's why she deserves a tribute video. She deserves a tribute video, absolutely. So, and she's a fellow Montrealer like me. I mean, if there was one thing on my bucket list that I wanted to do, one thing on my bucket list is to do a collab with Emilia Fart after the worst of the pandemic and the lockdowns are further eased. She does a lot of those location shoots in Montreal, at parks and the view, in stores, you name it, and it could be fun, I think it would be a lot of fun to do location shoots with her in this damn city. This damn city of conformists, okay, Montreal, conformists needs Emilia Fart. YouTube needs Emilia Fart. Oh, hell, I need her too. I need her. You know, I read her comment section from her last video, April 30th, on her channel, and a lot of them had said, please come back, and we're going to miss you. And so a lot of them had said, you'd be amazed, she helped a lot of these people. They all said that they felt less alone when they were watching an Emilia Fart video. They all felt less alone, or they, you know, and somehow, you know, it made them feel better about themselves. Emilia Fart had a way, you know, with her content, and whether that was her intent originally or not, I don't know. I can't really speak to that. I've never met her. I have never met her. But if I were to hazard a guess, was that her original intent? Or was it just to, you know, go all out and express herself, her true self, telling stories or doing a little performance art, you know, a little blogging here and there? She tells stories, you know, a lot of story time, and she doesn't hold back, you know, or she didn't anyway, hold back with emotions. She could cry, she could laugh, she could be angry, she could be happy on screen, you know? And this was great about her. You know, like I said, Montreal is a city of conformity, okay? This used to be the fashion capital of Canada, okay? Before it became Toronto. Used to be the fashion capital of Canada. And Montreal society tends to still believe that we're still on top in that department. Yeah, sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. But they still believe that, you know, in a city where, you know, overweight women are looked upon, viewed upon with such hostility and vitriol. It's refreshing seeing her going out in those robes, you know, those shapeless robes, you know, and the boas and, you know, the painted face and the ornate accessories, like the ornate brooches that she wears. It's refreshing. You know, she could sit on a swing, you know, sit and cry on a swing, on a park swing in a playground. And you know what? If there were people, you would, and if she was bothered by anybody who might have been in the park around the swings area, maybe staring at her, which I'm sure there were, knowing Montrealers the way I know them, they probably were. But if it was bothering her, she didn't show it. She didn't show it. And because honestly, I don't, you know, she did her own thing. And I think in that way, she helped all of us, you know, those of you are, she is what YouTube, the old YouTube was supposed to be about, you know, doing your own thing, bringing your own brand of entertainment, you know, whatever that may be, whether you're telling stories about yourself or doing a little performance art. But yeah, so yeah, I'm planning to do, I'm not going to be doing an in-depth, deep diving channel review of hers, which I originally planned to do. I'm not going to do that, but I would like to do some kind of tribute to her. Yeah, maybe this is my desperately seeking Susan moment. Yeah, this is my desperately seeking Susan moment. In her hair dyeing video in the grocery store. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and that was not even in Montreal, okay? It was worse where she was. She was in the suburban GTA, okay, Greater Toronto area, okay, somewhere west of Toronto. Yeah, in either Burlington or Oakville. I can't remember which of the two, but it was either Burlington or Oakville, Ontario. So it's like suburban, you know, where... You know, it's not for nothing. My father nicknamed Burlington Borington, and he nicknamed Oakville Jokeville. Okay, so my father did that. It's not for nothing. My father gave both of those cities those names. And my father spent the last years of his teaching career teaching at one of Canada's most exclusive private schools. Okay, Appleby College. He taught at Appleby College for the last half of his teaching career. And that is located in Oakville, aka Jokeville. So you can imagine Emilia Fart going in. I don't know, it looked like a no frills or something. And she's in an aisle, and she's probably got her camera person because she usually has a camera person in tow shooting the videos as opposed to, I don't know, to laying a tripod somewhere. And it's probably wise, you know, to have, you know. But anyway, so she's in an aisle and she's dyeing her hair blue. Maybe it's from some blue candy, powdered candy, or blue Kool-Aid. Hey, I attempted to dye my hair with blue Kool-Aid last summer on camera. Why the hell not? The only difference is I did it from home. Did it on camera, but I did it from home. But she did it in a supermarket aisle in one of the most blandest suburban areas of Ontario. It's gold. Excuse me. It's gold. Absolute gold. And like, absolutely. Anyways, like I said, but I'm going to be doing a little more in-depth video about her and how she, you know, people might think I'm auditioning now to do a collab with her. I'll be honest with you, it might be. It might be. And this might be my shameless, obnoxious way of going about it. But yeah, it might be. I don't know. But I always wanted to do one. And I wanted to do a second Emilia Fart video, but this was, again, I had thought about this before the quarantine, and this is a project that would have to be done once again after the quarantine, when restrictions are loosened a bit, like where we can move around the city more often. Because I would like to do, it was worth it for the expressions alone. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, that video, just for the expressions on those people. Oh yeah, they would have been gawking at her in suburban Ontario, suburban, you know, outside, you know, of the GTA ring, the 905 ring, they call it. Oh yeah, absolutely. It was worth it. But yeah, I wanted to do a being Emilia Fart for a day video, kind of, you know, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that anymore, at least not anytime soon. But yeah, like I said, so those were the two I wanted to do, but turns out it's going to be one video and it's going to be an upload because it's going to be a voiceover video for the most part with a lot of clips. I'll probably add that clip there just for the hell of it, you know. It's kind of, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking of doing soon enough. What have I talked about? T-shirts, the economy, working from home, YouTube and the quarantine, Emilia Fart. What else have I talked about? I don't know. What's on your mind? Hearts Love, you seem to be still here. What's on your mind? What is on your mind? But yeah, Emilia. Yeah, that would have been cute. Being Emilia Fart. I haven't ruled it out. It's just right now, Montreal is the hotspot of Canada right now. And it's actually, I mean, our Quebec government is running things so piss poorly. Check out my video. I talk a bit about that in a video I did last week. What was it called? Yeah, stop using mental health as a straw man to push deconfinement. I'll have that video up in a pinned comment when I jump off the stream. I'll have that video up because that was a ranting thing, and I was talking about, oh yes, the Patreon links. Yes, the obnoxious e-begging portion of the show. Yes, if you wish to support this channel, you may do so. I have a Patreon where I upload about once a month. It's usually videos that I'm either topics I'm testing out on a smaller audience, test driving on a small audience before I unleash to the public at large, or it's stuff I'm not really at ease putting before the grand public at large. A lot of it is more personal stuff, although I have done some reaction. I did one reaction video there too, so I'll have some reaction content up there too. So check out my Patreon. Thank you, Hearts Love. And for a one-time donation, I have PayPal and I have Streamlabs. I have a Streamlabs link, so Go check those out if you're interested. If you're interested in supporting the channel. Thank you very much. And I also have a Discord server. Hearts love. If you can supply the link to that too, please. I have a Discord server. A lot of great people, awesome people in my server. And right now we've grown, and so have the rooms, thanks to Wraith Phoenix, my co-admin who handles all the tech over at the server. So we owe her a huge debt of gratitude. Yes, we do. And so we've got rooms to suit all taste. We have our venting corner, our quarantine diaries, we have a politics chat room, political chit chat room, reviewing TV and movie talk, sharing music, sharing artwork, get your meme on. Yeah, we have a meme room. Absolutely. Thank you, Hearts Love. Much appreciated. So, if you haven't joined our Discord server already, please consider doing so. Yeah, that would be great. Please consider doing so. That would be absolutely fab. Yeah. Now, what else? What else did I want to get off my mind? Did I want to get anything else off my mind right now? Oh, a lot of stuff, yeah. But I don't feel ready to discuss that right now, But, there was one thing I was hoping during the quarantine that we would, and I discussed it once again at the video, don't use mental health as a straw man. That video will be linked in the pinned comment below. Is the nastiness of people. People are more vacuous. I'm talking generally. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just going to speak in generalities. It's like you would think, and I mean, vanity is still at the top of the list. People want to deconfine and they're complaining they want to get a haircut. It's just like that meme I saw, a woman protesting outside saying with a sign, a placard that says, I want to get a haircut. And just below that is a poor old man on a ventilator in a hospital ICU saying, I want to breathe. That is powerful. That is quite powerful. And I think more in Montreal took it seriously when Georges Laraque, I forget which hockey teams he played for. I don't think he played for the Habs, the Montreal Canadiens. I don't think he played for them. He was known as an enforcer, and I've seen Georges Laraque in person. He's a large dude, okay? He is one large dude. He's built more like a football player than a hockey player. He is one large dude. And he is in the hospital with COVID, well, I can't say that, the illness that cannot be named on YouTube. He is in the hospital with Rona. He's in the hospital. He did a video. He did a live stream on Twitter not long ago from his hospital bed. And you can see he's on oxygen and he's coughing a lot and he's trying to get his words out, to raise awareness that no, this is not just an old person disease. And no, this does not just happen in nursing homes or long-term care homes. This is an athlete. He was training just before he got sick. He was training to run a marathon. I mean, we should all, I mean, the man is in his 40s and he's in better shape than a lot of 20-year-olds under normal circumstances. So if he's got so sick to the point of being in the hospital and on oxygen, yeah, they said they found double pneumonia in his lungs, as a result of Rona. So I hope, it got through, and that's the thing, because we live in a culture where we worship celebrities. We all worship celebrities. And the sad thing is we need to trot out a celebrity every so often to raise awareness when we ourselves as a society cannot do it, or cannot fathom doing so. So yeah, I was, so Georges Laraque, it was a video that went viral and it shared widely. So of course we hope Georges Laraque will get better. We hope. But this is the last type of individual you would think that would end up hospitalized, not on a ventilator, but he's on oxygen. He's got a nasal cannula. So that's kind of alarming. And it should raise awareness, hopefully, with behaviors. And there are people who are complaining. And now my latest thing is, my latest comeback on Facebook for those complaining about being confined at home. Two arguments. Number one, Anne Frank. Anybody familiar with the Diary of Anne Frank? Yeah. Anne Frank and her family spent 4 years in an attic hiding from the Nazis. Okay? They all managed to do cramped quarters. I can imagine an attic must have been cramped quarters for 4 years for a family of 4 plus their housekeeper or their old housekeeper or family friend. Neat Geese was her name. Neat Geese. And so that's one argument, Anne Frank and her family in the attic. And my other argument is, at least you have a home to quarantine in. Like, we have a high homeless population, like any major urban center, right? And yeah, there have been cases of Rona amongst Montreal's homeless population. And while our governments have been trying, are they trying hard enough to get them into shelters? And your typical overnight shelter or even day center for the homeless, again, social distancing is not possible because they're all been crammed together, And it's a sad thing. It's a very sad thing. And it's an alarming thing, especially, something that is so easily transmissible. Somebody had suggested that I check out Contagion on Netflix, and I might well do that. I don't know. Well, so far it hasn't. I haven't been feeling in the mood to do so. Yeah. And then there's the next thing that has been bothering me, another pet peeve of mine. Well, what have you created? What hobby have you taken up? Have you taken a master class? And it's like, why the hell are we, again, you're expected to create or do great things or you don't matter as a human being, What's wrong with just being who you are? You may not be talented in much. And you may not have that many interests outside of family or your job or whatever. You may not. And what's so terrible about that? I always say, as long as you're not harming anybody else, what's wrong with that? Why can't you just be who you are, right? So, it's like, stop expecting people, stop defining people by, start defining people by who they are. Like empathy. Don't define them by how they look. Don't define them by how productive or not productive they are, or by how much money they have in their wallet. Stop that. Stop that. That has always been a major pet peeve of mine. And I would have hoped, in the age of quarantine, where we're in our loungewear, and I think the biggest bestseller these days is pajama bottoms and sweats in online retail clothing stores, And I would have thought that, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like I said, I would have thought that people would have learned, it's like, appreciate each other for who they are, love each other unconditionally. Fuck what life coaches and dating coaches and the like say. Fuck that. Fuck what pop psychology says. Start learning to love people unconditionally, and start measuring a human being by how empathetic they are, by integrity, strength of character, all of that stuff, how do they treat their fellow man, or more to the point, how do they treat society's marginalized? Start measuring a human by those standards. How helpful are they in their community or in their immediate environment, but stop measuring them on those superficial trappings, if you'd be amazed at how often I was bullied just because of that. In my comment section, one of the comment guys wrote that I was an ugly beast. Yeah, okay, I know that. I've known that forever, dude. I've known that forever. But, but this is the kind of thing, and at least they come by, I'll give them that. They're honest about their crappy behavior. They come by it honestly, you know, instead of being more covert like adults tend to be, you know. Oh, God, really? So, anyways, I'm going to be ending this stream very shortly. I've already been on for 40 minutes. I usually try to not to stay on over an hour. But we covered a lot of ground, covered a lot of what was on my mind, and that's cool. And yeah. And so, like I said, so yeah, I plan to have some content up soon. For those who are in my members of my Patreon, I will try to have something for you next week. If you have anybody who's a patron, please feel free to message me on Patreon if you've got video topics, topic ideas for Patreon that you want to hear me talk about. Please feel free, because this is for you. Okay, this is content for you. It's not just for me to express myself. It's for you too. You know, what do you want me to talk about? What would you like to hear about? Thank you, Hearts Love. I'm glad you came to keep me company too. So anyways, feel free to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the way out the door. It's all engagement. And like I said, if you wish to support the channel, all links will be in the description box: Patreon, PayPal, and Streamlabs. And I will have that in the pin video, in a pinned comment. The one, don't use mental health as a straw man argument. And I will have that, and I will see you all in the next one. I will see you all in the next one. Yeah, I'm still working on one, another reaction of sorts. Just doing a little more research on how to go approach it. It was because of a live stream that DC Media Girl did a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I've never made it a secret. I might be of her generation. I'm a little younger than she is, but I am a Gen Xer. But I've never made it a secret that I'm not a fan of hers either. But there was one thing I found disturbing in a live stream she did, was that she was kind of defending RSN, Real Stream News. And I found that particularly disturbing, especially from a woman. Okay. Especially from a woman. So I'm going to be covering that. I haven't figured out what approach I'm going to use yet for it. But so it'll be a very short and sweet video. But I find it disturbing that a woman would actually go, come out on camera on a live stream and defend this sleaze. But yeah. So anyways, nice chatting with you all. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. If you haven't joined our Discord server, please consider doing so. Meet some awesome people. There are chat rooms in the Discord server to suit all tastes. And there's resources you can find, some peer-to-peer support if needed. Anytime anybody might need it. So anyways, just meet an awesome group of fun people. And the link to that will be in the description box below. Meanwhile, please take care of yourselves and each other. And if there is somebody in your midst who is vulnerable or alone, please, I know during this time of quarantine, I don't advocate dropping by their home, not in this age of social distancing. I do take my social distancing very seriously. But please give them a call, DM them on social media if you have that information. Give them a call, just find out how they're doing. Sometimes knowing that somebody out there is thinking about them or worrying about them can make all the difference in the world. And please try to be kind to each other. Please, especially now during these trying times, please try to be kinder to one another. Please. Thank you. So I'm going to wish you all adieu right now. Good night. Oh, thank you for stopping by.